Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Karen.
Hi everybody, I am Shane and today we're looking at part 1, Get Your Food Delivery by Drone.
Wow, that sounds really, really cool and I haven't seen it yet here in Taiwan.
Yes, well maybe first we should say what a drone is so that we know what we're talking about. So a drone is basically, it's like an airplane, like a small airplane that doesn't have a pilot, right? Or it can be like even like almost like a little helicopter or something. So that's pretty cool. Do you often get food delivered to your home?
Well, almost every single day.
Almost every single day?
Yes, I don't like to go and pick up my food from the restaurant, or I no longer go grocery shopping because I don't want to carry heavy things on my back.
Okay, so you do it for grocery shopping, but you also do it for your meals as well.
Actually, I have everything delivered to my home. Sometimes if I'm looking for like Band-Aids or some, things that I get from the pharmacy.
Right, you can also buy things from like 7-Eleven or a pharmacy. There's all kinds of things. You can buy batteries if you need that. It's really convenient to get things delivered to your house, but food, I think, is the most common one. And we've all gotten pretty used to this idea, but typically it means someone's going to drive in a car.
That's right, or ride scooter.
In Taipei, most likely it's going to be a scooter. So I'm interested to know how food gets delivered by a drone.
Maybe that's going to be even faster.
Well, let's find out.
All right.
Okay, let's go.
Drone deliveries are on the rise. In the beginning, people used drones to deliver medicine, needles, and blood to those in need. They played a big part after typhoons and earthquakes and during COVID-19.
So we're looking at part 1 of Get Your Food Delivery by Drone. I can't wait to learn about it because I love having my food delivered to my home. I don't like leaving my home.
Yeah, I'm more and more becoming dependent on food delivery. I think you just get lazier and lazier, and
maybe it's not a good thing.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. Well, first of all, let's give a proper definition of what a drone is. I gave a short definition before, but it's an aircraft without a pilot. So an aircraft meaning like an airplane or something like that, or maybe a helicopter, or a small flying device. It's controlled from the ground and could be used for lots of things. It can be used for taking photographs. It can be used like even in wars for dropping bombs. Or in this case, we're talking about delivering goods, right? And things like that. So for example, you can say, I hope that this Christmas I get a new drone.
Ooh, that would be fun.
So
do you have a drone?
No, I don't. I've always wanted one. I think that people who have them are pretty cool because you can do some really cool videos from that, So I would like to get one, but I'm always afraid that I will crash it and I'll waste all my money.
Because they are pretty expensive.
Exactly, especially if you want a decent or a good one, right?
Okay, well, let's continue. Drone deliveries are on the rise. When you say something is on the rise, that means it's becoming more and more popular, right? More and more people are starting to use it. In the beginning, people used drones to deliver medicine, needles, and blood to those in need. Because I think instead of having people driving a car to deliver something, using the drone, you can really avoid the traffic.
Exactly.
And in special cases where you need medicine, needles, and blood,
those are emergencies.
You need them really, really quickly, right?
ASAP.
As soon as possible. That's right. Okay, we're looking at this word here, needle, and that is a noun. A needle is a thin, hollow metal tube with a sharp point that is used to put medicine into the body or to take blood out. For example, you can say, a nurse walked in with a needle and after that, she fell asleep again.
Oh, she walked in with a needle and after that fell asleep again.
The patient
fell
asleep
again. I thought the nurse fell asleep. So, that's pretty weird. Okay, continuing along. They played a big part after typhoons and earthquakes and during COVID-19. Yeah, so it makes sense for, like kind of rescues or for helping people in need and to get medicines and supplies to places very quickly. Drones are very effective at doing that.
That's right. So played a big part. That means became really important, right?
Right.
Because especially during the time of COVID-19, people are not supposed to be very close in contact with other people.
That's right.
But we had drones where we can deliver maybe medicine or masks, so then you can avoid human contact.
Ooh, very important. Now, what is a typhoon? A typhoon, I think all of you all know what that means because typhoon sounds almost exactly the same in Chinese, typhoon. Right? Typhoon, it's a violent tropical storm with very strong winds.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字跟文法重点。首先来看看单字的部分。Drone 名词，无人机。The drone flew high above the city. 那架无人机飞到城市上空。Needle 名词，针，注射针。I felt a sharp pain when the needle went in. 当针头进入时，我感到一阵刺痛。Typhoon 名词，台风。The typhoon hit the city hard. 台风重创了这座城市。我们再来看一下文法重点，刚刚对话提到了 in the beginning 起初一开始，这是一个时间副词片语。Beginning 指的是开始起始。我们来看看这个例句 In the beginning, they didn't know what to do. 一开始他们不知道该怎么办。接着我们回到课文当中。
I think everybody who's living in Taiwan knows what a typhoon is. You're very familiar with it. So, for example, you could say, his home was destroyed during the typhoon.
Soon, post offices use drones to deliver mail and packages. Then businesses use them to deliver their goods. Now, food and drink shops are using drones. You can get everything from a cup of coffee to a meal for your family. Also, the drone will get it to you faster than a car or motorcycle.
Welcome back, everybody. So before the break, we found that drones are being used more and more commonly now. Like in the very beginning, when we first started to use drones, we were using the drones for bringing things like blood, needles, medicine, and we were using these things for situations like disasters, really, like during typhoons and earthquakes, and it had a big impact and use them a lot during COVID-19 as well. So the use of drones is becoming more and more common.
Exactly.
Right.
That was mainly for emergency at the beginning, right?
Right, so that's the beginning.
Okay, well, let's learn more. Soon, post offices used drones to deliver mail and packages.
Ooh, that's convenient.
I didn't know that. I guess I haven't seen that in Taiwan.
I think that, this is a lot of times in places that are bigger, like in America, where there's a lot of space that needs to be covered, or maybe places that are more remote, meaning that they're not very close to roads. Or very easy to get to. It might be more convenient, just like a bird flies, a drone can get there much quicker and more effectively.
Because in places like Taiwan, we have a lot of tall buildings and skyscrapers. That would be a little more difficult.
Everything's pretty close in Taiwan.
Exactly. Okay, so we're looking at this word here, post office. A post office is a building where people can send and receive mail and buy stamps. For example, you can say, you can buy your stamps at the post office. I think when we were little, we probably visited the post office quite often if we wanted to send a letter or, to pick up a package. But nowadays, I think you can send letters by the computer, send messages through your phone. So, yeah.
I can't remember. I remember being young and buying stamps. Like a packet. It was like a packet of stamps, and maybe there were 10 or 20 stamps. And the last time I bought a stamp was probably like 25 or 30 years ago. I can't even remember buying a stamp.
Time has changed.
Yes, it has. Okay, continuing. Then businesses use them to deliver their goods. Now, when we say goods, we just mean things that are produced to be sold. Things that are made to be sold, we call those things goods. So, for example, during a typhoon, there is an increase in the price of many goods. So that, for example, could be like the price of food. It could be the price of toilet paper. All of a sudden the price will go up because there is less of those things. They're in a higher demand.
That's right.
刚刚课文里提到了这两个单字 post office 邮局 I need to go to the post office to send a letter 我需要去邮局寄一封信 goods 名词商品货物当这个意思的时候横用复数 The store sells all kinds of goods including clothes and food 这家商店贩售各式各样的商品包括衣服和食物。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, so back to the article. Now, food and drink shops are using drones.
Whoa.
Okay, so the food and drink shops are starting to use drones as well to deliver food and drinks. And it's really, really convenient, right?
That sounds so cool. I would use the service just to see the drone drop off my food or drink. I would think that would be so cool.
It would be cool, but in Taiwan, though, most people live in apartments. How would that work?
Maybe they would just drop it off on the sidewalk next to the apartment building.
So you would have to be waiting on the sidewalk.
Okay, continuing. You can get everything from a cup of coffee to a meal for your family.
Wow, you can get everything from a cup of coffee. Wouldn't the drone spill the cup of coffee?
No, they're very stable.
Really? But what if it's really windy?
Oh, that could be a problem.
I have so many questions.
Okay.
Okay, and also the drone will get it to you faster than a car or motorcycle. And that's what I was talking about before, because For example, during rush hour, if you want your food delivered,
Lots of traffic.
sometimes you have to wait for 40 minutes to an hour. If the weather condition is bad, sometimes even longer,
And
right?
you have to wait for traffic lights.
Exactly.
What's a motorcycle?
Okay, motorcycle, that is a noun. A motorcycle is a vehicle with 2 wheels, an engine, and no pedal. So say, for example, you can say, don't forget to wear a helmet when you jump on your motorcycle. Just to be safe, because safety is always number 1.
我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字 motorcycle motorcycle 名词摩托车 Mike rides his motorcycle to work every day. Mike 每天骑摩托车上班。文法的部分刚刚提到了这个短语 a cup of 一杯。我们来看看这个例句 Ivy ordered a cup of coffee. Ivy 点了一杯咖啡。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, so that's pretty cool. So it sounds like these drones are really starting to deliver food, but I don't know when this is going to happen in Taiwan. Is it already happening in Taiwan?
I don't know.
I just haven't had it happen to me yet. I have so many questions. Well, maybe we'll get these questions answered in part 2 and part 3.
All
We have lots of
right.
parts to go, but
I can't wait.
that's all the time we have for today, and we will see you next time.
See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Drone deliveries are on the rise. In the beginning, people used drones to deliver medicine, needles, and blood to those in need. They played a big part after typhoons and earthquakes and during COVID-19. Soon, post offices used drones to deliver mail and packages. Then businesses used them to deliver their goods. Now, food and drink shops are using drones. You can get everything from a cup of coffee to a meal for your family. Also, the drone will get it to you faster than a car or motorcycle.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 needle 名词针注射针 typhoon 名词台风 post office 邮局 motorcycle 名词摩托车 drone 名词无人机 goods 名词商品货物当做这个意思的时候横用复数。接着我们来看文法的部分 In the beginning 起初一开始 In the beginning, Max knew nothing about cooking. 起初 Max 对做菜一窍不通。A cup of 一杯什么 Austin bought 2 cups of hot chocolate. Austin 买了2杯热可可。好啦，以上是今天的重点单词跟文法，那我们下次再见喽，拜拜。
That was a good workout.
That was a really good workout, but I'm really hungry now.
Well, you know, after a good workout, that means it's time to carbo load.
Carbo load.
You know, it's like when you eat a lot of carbs, rice, bread, pasta, all of the good
Oh,
stuff.
that sounds so good. Okay, let's go and have breakfast. Okay, today we are going to talk about pancakes.
But it's not the pancakes maybe some foreigners might be thinking of. Yeah, so when we think of pancakes, maybe we think of sweet, fluffy, round pancakes. But we're in Taiwan right now, so that's not what that means.
Right, in Taiwan, there is a savory breakfast pancake. And there's 2 types of pancakes that we're going to talk about today. First off, it is what we have right here, 葱抓饼. In English, it's just called a scallion pancake. And it could be used to describe 葱抓饼 or 葱油饼. But today we have 葱抓饼. You can choose whether or not you want to have an egg in it.
Right, to make it feel more like a breakfast food.
Yeah, you don't have to though.
Yeah, so this is kind of my expertise. I'm an expert at it because I love dancing. And so this is where foreigners are usually like, wait, what? I was thinking of a pancake, like syrup and butter. No. We're talking about a savory pancake. Today, we added a slice of ham. You can also put cheese. And we like to put a little hash brown in it to kind of be fancy.
Yeah.
But that's all we have for today. Remember, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to message us. KiWi later.